Listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to y'all real quick. Hold on for a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Shout out. It's a lot going on. Shout out to everybody. Your boy is back. I do want to say that it's a little bit of drama going on. So, I know what we gotta do. Get mad. Get mad. Y'all know what we gotta do. Get mad. Bad news told everything. Wait a minute. 100% accuracy. Officer T. Ward knows. He told everything. Wait a minute. Cheese in the chat, please. Cheese up in this chat. Gorgonzola. Mozzarella. Everything. Clone owes knowledge of foot. I do want to put that out there. Clone tried to come back. He's like, since everybody can just talk to them people and agree to everything, I guess I can come back to Clone owes knowledge of foot. I do want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Clone told them people, what do I have to say to go home? Wait a minute. Bad news. Hopped up out of that hospital bed, ran down that hallway and saw Officer T. Ward and said, wait. Turn that body cam off and hand me that binder. Officer T. Ward obliged. You know what I'm saying? Bad news. Took that binder, opened up that binder and seen the list of suspects and pointed out number 4, Thug Life, 100% accuracy. Pointed them out. You know what I'm saying? Boxing gloves in the chat, please. Can we get some boxing gloves in the chat for Official? Shout out to Official. You know what I mean? Letting it be known. Don't talk crazy. I'm letting everybody come in here. Don't talk crazy about people I love, or it can go down. Big, big, boom, bow, big. Shout out to her with the bicycle kick. Shout out to Official. Can we get some coffee in the chat, please? No disrespect. Coffee did a dedicated snitch blog on everybody. Shout out to her. No disrespect. We rocking with Coffee Brown, but she did a dedicated snitch blog. Shout out to her on me. You know what I'm saying? She got that email and she said, don't come after me. I will give you the names of the people who cooperated on that live. Shout out to Coffee Brown. You know what I'm saying? She said Polo, PIPERBOY Williams, Angry Fan, Official. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. Rocks in the chat, please. I'm sorry, we got to get through this. Rocks in the chat. I do want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? 40 Bars has stole from the battle rap community for years. I got to get through this intro. You know, Clean Paper, shout out to him. He has been stealing deposits for years. You know what I'm saying? I do want to say, I want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Blue hearts in the chat for Surf. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Can we get some blue hearts in the chat? Some yes ma'ams. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I can't go along with the program. I just can't do it. Can we get some blue hearts in the chat? Shout out to him for the yes ma'ams. Put some waves in the chat for Surf. Surf, this is no diss. You know what I mean? Can we get some waves in the chat, please? Hey, shout out to Math Hoffa. Math Hoffa, you know what I mean? Did the podcast, right? And on the podcast, Math, you ain't slick. I rock with you, Math Hoffa. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with you behind the scenes recently. You know what I mean? That'll stay private. Shout out to you. I seen he did a live, right? And he was basically addressing this whole Tsu Surf thing. And he was saying, first of all, he did want to say, he wanted to apologize to Surf's mom. You know what I mean? That's kind of something you don't want to play with. You know what I mean? So he wanted to apologize to Surf's mom, apologize to the people. He's not putting the snitch label on Surf. He does want to say he will pull you down if you are using his footage saying that he is putting the snitch label on Surf. So, you know, he did put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Math, did you get the call, Math? Math, you know I rock with you. I'm gonna let you and Zip the Drip kind of go at that. Did you get the call? Shout out to Math Hoffa. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, I see him and Tay Roc going back and forth. I'm like, they going back and forth? Like, when? You got to think about this. So Tay Roc, shout out to Tay Roc, shout out to Math, right? You know, like, they going back and forth. Let me show y'all that. Math is responding to Rock. Rock don't think Math Hoffa can beat him in a battle. Y'all got to put 2 and 2 together here. Like, this is what it is. Get mad. Rock. Put 2 and 2 together. Math comes out with an apology. Next thing you know, Rock is entertaining a battle with him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That could be a shot to Math Hoffa. Maybe that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Rock just really wants to battle Math. Maybe that is the situation. You know what I'm saying? I seen Math Hoffa. He kind of went at Geechee a little bit. I seen Geechee's live that he did what shout out to Last Second. See, I like Geechee's live. You know what I'm saying? I like certain things about his live. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at his live. You know what I'm saying? But you know, about Math is kind of getting his feet wet back in the battle rap. So I don't know. Like, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below about all this. Math Hoffa, you know, URL. Like, what y'all think? Y'all think you're gonna battle on it? As far as the Surf thing, right? Like, this is what I want to say, right? And I get it, Math. Like, it's probably a lot of heat, you know what I mean, coming your way, and you kind of don't want that, especially if you like the sport of battle rap. You kind of don't want something like that, but you did. You got a major channel, you know what I mean? If you talk about something like that, people will pick it up, you know what I mean, and talk about it. And I get it, you know what I mean? You ain't really say he told, you know what I'm saying? So we will give Math that, but, you know, he did kind of... Shout out to Math. What do I think about this Surf situation? So I see a lot of people are talking about on Twitter that there is let me see if I can pull this up, right? So I guess the Code D has came forward, right? Allegedly. I would say allegedly, and I'm saying that for a reason, right? So there's like a DM, you know what I mean, that's kind of circulating around here, you know, and people like, oh, the Code D came forward. Oh, Surf is safe. The Code D came forward. He is safe. Wait a minute. And I'm not trying to bury Surf. I do want to say that. But this DM is a little weird. You know what I mean? The only reason I'm saying that because I ran it through Chat GPT. I shouldn't have did that. I ran it through Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Then I ran it through Grok on Twitter. Ran it through Grok, and they couldn't authenticate this. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm like, well, let me just go to my my phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my phone. Let me just check my phone, see whether or not my phone is like, you know, let me check all my apps. I checked my iMessage app. I couldn't really find anything that kind of looked like this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, let me go to my Android. Let me go to my Android. I pulled out my Android and I started looking. I'm like, oh, the Android kind of looks like this, right? The one thing that seems to be missing from all of this is there's no times. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at this, normally there's like a time. You know what I mean? This was sent yesterday. This was sent today. This has got a time on it. There's no times on here. You know what I mean? So this was kind of troubling to me. Also, there's no, you know, when you're sending messages to people, you get like bubbles. You know what I mean? There's none of that here. You know, and then I'm kind of, you know, it's like none of that here, right? So then I'm like looking into this a little more, right? I'm looking at this a little more and I'm like, who put this out? Right? And so I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not trying to do all this. But I'm like, who put this out? And then I looked, it's like a dude named Money Mitch or something like that put it out, right? And this is a guy that was like trying to send me a whole bunch of stuff that was not making sense about this surf thing. So I started scrolling all the way down, right? You know, I started scrolling all the way down. And, you know, when I get all the way down here, I started finding Tsu Surf, Tsu Surf, Tsu Surf, Tsu Surf. Tsu Surf is awesome. Tsu Surf is this. Tsu Surf is that. Tsu Surf is this. He's the most greatest person in the world. He's this. And then it goes down to he's like a Midnight Madness fan. Oh my God. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, as far as that, I wanted to say this is, you know what I mean? The co-defendant came forward, you know, and you know, said some things, you know what I mean? And for Surf's, you know what I mean? Like defense, but I don't know. I just can't say that. As far as everything else with Surf, this is the problem, right? Shout out to Math. I know he kind of like, he opened the door, but he's closing the door, right? So I talked to somebody, a very smart person behind the scenes. He opened the door, but he's trying to close the door, right? So it's going to be up to the interpretation of the battle rap community, how they take everything, right? They got to look at that, being real, you know what I mean? And just be like, okay, it is what it is. The problem that is going to happen when he gets out, you know what I mean? And this is just me saying what I think, right? Is when he's saying things like, oh God, when you're sitting up there, and I know we want to go through like a lot of the, you know, the paperwork, maybe it's Cody's paperwork, and we want to do all of that. And we want to try to help them, you know. But when they're asking them questions like, "Yo, are you, you know, doing conspiracy, the furtherance of the gang?" And you know what I mean? He's saying yes. You know what I mean? Are you traveling across state lines with product? And he's saying yes. Like that, you know, with members and associates, that creates an issue. You know, I'm just saying that creates an issue. Now, we would never have known this. You know what I'm saying? If shout out to Matt, but you know what I mean? Like we would, you know, a lot. We wouldn't have known what was going on. You know, but it's I don't know. He told on himself he did, but you know, including members and associates. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying. Wait a minute. I don't know. Members and associates. You know, like back in the, you know, I'm not a street dude. Like everybody's street, I guess, but I'm not street, right? Like I watch, you know, like Sopranos. You know, like The Godfather. I'm not watching YN, like, you know, mob movies. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching stuff like that. And those type of movies, you can't do stuff like that. Like, you just can't. You know what I'm saying? Members in the song. I don't know, man. I don't know. What y'all think?
The defendant. Yes, ma'am. The court. During the time that you were a member of the enterprise, did you knowingly conspire, that is, agree with other members and associates of the enterprise to commit at least 2 criminal acts in furtherance of the enterprise? The defendant. Yes. The court. Were you in fact an organizer, leader, manager, or supervisor within the enterprise, Mr. Cox? The defendant. Yes. The court. And did you in fact commit certain overt acts in furtherance of the conspiracy? The defendant. Yes.
Let me call a street person real quick. Sorry. Just call a street person. I don't know. I can't figure this out. No. person says before I continue on with my blog. He's a supervisor. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just in a conversation with a street person, and they were just telling me, you can't say stuff like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe the 2025 YNs, you know, maybe you can. Like I don't know. Maybe. Maybe you can't, but I will say this, right? Like I've been watching Sadie Nash and King AK-47. Shout out to them, and you know there is like some street codes and stuff like that. You know, so everything is not as black and white as it used to be for some people. You know what I mean? But for me, like when you're telling me, like, you know what I mean, like in furtherance of the gang, are you crossing state lines with members and associates? That creates a problem. You know what I mean? And then like now I'm looking at the Instagram and it's like, you know, that looks weird. But, you know, as far as I don't know. Like, did he tell I think he said too much. You know what I'm saying? I think he said too much. Did he snitch? You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? It's gonna be up to y'all the interpretations of whether or not you think he snitched. You know what I'm saying? But back in the 90s, you get in front of that judge and you say, were you conspiring with members and associates of the gang? I'm just saying the 90s. We're in 2025. You know what I mean? Y'all chill out. 2025. It's different. YNs creating rules as they go. This gang, this organization may have no morals. This gang and this organization might say, hey, we all got to plea. You know what I'm saying? This gang and this organization say, well, if one don't plea, it don't matter. Like, all of us got to plea. It's different politics. You know what I'm saying to it? I seen Wack 100, right? He was talking to Byron Blake about this. He was kind of basically like yelling over at Byron Blake, but he wasn't really like outclassing Byron Blake on what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So I was watching that and I'm like, well, first he was kind of trying to indicate Surf was snitching months ago. Then he tries to, you know, trying to get people to get the paperwork. Then he gets into it with Big U. Then he tries to say Big U snitched on Surf. Then people looked into it and it didn't really look like Big U really told on Surf all like that. So, and then it's like he says that Pooh Shiesty told, you know what I mean? And then like he gets called out by Pooh Shiesty's lawyer. Pooh Shiesty's lawyer got, you know, involved and like kind of proved to him that he was wrong with that. You know what I mean? Because he went on DJ Academics Live and he was talking about Pooh Shiesty told, you know, then when Pooh Shiesty's lawyer came out and said what he said, he tried to use some things against that. He's like, I'm just a blogger. I'm one out of many. Everybody can, you know what I mean, say what they want. But he's like, well, because Pooh Shiesty's lawyer is saying things. He's just like, yo, what do you mean he told? Like, that was our investigation and we found out what happened. You know what I mean? Like, Pooh Shiesty ain't say nothing. He's like, well, it was the proffer and this and that. And then he was kind of proved wrong, but he was saying things like, well, he said that, you know, then the guns came out. Like, that's telling. But what Surf is doing is like, okay, I don't understand. Like, what Tekashi 69 is doing is okay. Surf is doing is okay. Surf is saying, you know, when they're asking him, moving product across state lines with members and associates, he said yes. They're saying, are you committing overt acts? Were you in fact an organizer, leader, manager, or supervisor within an enterprise? Mr. Cox. Yes. But that ain't like, you know, so when I'm listening to Wack 100 and I'm listening to Byron Blake, I'm like, you know, you kind of want to do a blog like, Wack 100 saved everything, you know what I mean? But it's like, Byron Blake still kind of was outclassing you. You were just talking over him. You had the louder, you know what I mean? The louder phone, you know, but you didn't really like undo what Byron Blake had put out. You know what I'm saying? So that becomes like an issue. So it's like a lot of things, but I will leave it up to y'all to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, hey, you could take a plea. You know, and pleas are okay. It is what it is. You know, the mafia don't believe in pleas. You know what I'm saying? YNs have new rules. Hey, we're not Italian. You know, I do want to put that out there. We're not Italian. You know, they have their organization rule. But when you when you saying things like, yo, members and associates, that's pulling people in there. So like when you're admitting to all of these overt acts, I mean, it's not necessarily, you know what I mean? Let's just say, what's his name? Warner or something like that. I don't know. Like the co-defendant. I don't know his name, right? Let's just say he may not be directly affected by it, right? But when you're admitting to so many overt acts and you don't have immunity, I mean, I don't know. I've been watching too much Setting Ass and all of that. You know, that could eventually be, if they can get like 5 people, right, to to plead out. Let's just say all 5 of them plead out. They can get like 5 people to plead out, and they can get overt acts from all of these different people, but they're going after the main organization. Y'all don't think they're going to eventually use those over? I'm just saying it could possibly happen. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm both sides of the fence with this, you know, but as far as you guys know, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like the culture is trying to help Surf. I get it. He is the savior of the culture to some people, you know what I mean? And you got to think about what he can do. You know what I mean? The culture is kind of, you know, it's like so the money's there, the money's not there. The money's there, the money's not there. The excitement's there, the excitement's not there. You know what I mean? So if he comes back and he could generate some kind of excitement, people will be okay with it. Kid Slate talked about a bottle. And they did Spaces trying to get rid of him. I'm sorry, it's what it is. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not saying Tsu Surf snitch. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? But they they picking and choosing, as you can see. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Adi Boom, come back to battle rap. Bad news, come back to battle rap. You know, they don't want to talk about bad news. They come back to battle. Like, it's okay. Right? Clone, I see you posting. Come back to battle rap. Come back. Battle rap is a haven for this thing. I'm just saying, come back to battle rap. You know what I'm saying? And now Tay Roc and Math Hoffa is talking about battling. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Now, I do want to say this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, I'm just entertaining y'all. I'm not saying he's a snitch. You know what I'm saying? What he did was like kind of mouse-like, right? So if I do a crime with you, right? And then you get in front of that judge and they're asking you all of these questions, you know, it's kind of just like, you can say he's not like, this is what you can say, right? And refer to ARP's blog. I think ARP, he did a really good job. Go watch his blog, right? You can say Surf is not, you know, like directly like affecting like this guy, even though like I think Byron Blake put together some stuff that kind of makes it seem like the overt acts affected the guy, you know what I mean? But what the guy actually gets charged with, you could say Surf is not doing that, you know what I'm saying? He's not like hurting, you know what I mean, his the person that the co-conspirator and all of that, you know what I mean? But when you're saying stuff like this, you're admitting to overt acts like the gang exists. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm a rolling 60 dog. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's tatted on your back. Like, you know, I'm done with this organization. The new YNs in the school of snitching, they will tell you, say whatever you want to say to go home. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? Say what you want to say to go home. But it's kind of like, I know y'all riding hard for him. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it, you know what I mean? He's like the savior to y'all, you know, but at the end of the day, it's going to be difficult to overcome this, you know what I mean? So I want to see, and I think as long as he does not have, shout out to, as long as he does not have, you know what I mean, any of these, you know, the GOAT battlers, like anybody like that rolling on him, I think it would be cool for him to come back and talk about at least his truth or his version of events of what he thinks happened. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to put that out there. You know what I mean? But as far as this, like, you know, you admitting to, you know, going across state line with members of associates and, you know, all of that like that, because the gang is not supposed to exist. And, you know, we all hear things like, oh, well, the gang is nothing wrong about being in the gang. And the gang is not supposed to exist. It's not. It's not supposed to exist at all. You know, it's not. You know what I mean? So it's a silent thing, and a lot of these people on indictment, they probably don't even want people to know they're in a gang. You know, and when you stand up there and you are admitting stuff like this, it does have an impact. Now, what if Math didn't if Math didn't do the interview, you know what I mean? Like, if he didn't say that in the interview, would all of this have come out? You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, Byron Blake already put that out there. I will say people have been talking about this behind the scenes. A lot of people have been talking about this behind the scenes for months. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, would it have come out? Would it have not come out? You know, maybe in a battle, you know what I'm saying? But then he would be out to be able to get into spaces and kind of combat this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can understand why some people would defend him, right? Like a Rock or something like that. That's his dude. You know what I mean? He gonna rock with him if he snitched or not. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna rock with him. You know, he just said it on 15 Minutes of Fame. He didn't say snitched or not, but he was like... He said regardless, he gonna rock with him. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I mean? I'm not a gang member. I'm a civilian. Your boy will tell on you. You know what I mean? But as far as, like, you know, if you live in a thug life and you living by certain rules and codes, at least to some YNs, the rules and codes can switch from time to time. You know what I mean? In the 90s, the early 2000s, you can't do this. Like, you can't. You know what I mean? But now it's like, oh, if you're super cool, we like you, we love you, you can do stuff like this. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Math HOFFA versus Tay Roc. Which card y'all want to see this on? Y'all want to see this on like a Summer Madness? You know what I mean? Y'all want to see this on a Gnome? But y'all let me know what y'all think. I hear people like, I cannot believe people are even talking about this. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. When Kid Slade did a piece of this, like, not even like, really, it was in spaces. Everybody like, no, we got to get him out of battle rap. We can't battle him no more. He's terrible. He's a tattletale. And now that Surf is involved, we all civilians. We shouldn't be trying to be lawyers. Yo, Math, you know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I had a conversation with you about some of this behind the scenes. But shout out to Math HOFFA. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say what he said. But as far as his apology, y'all take it for what it is. I don't know if he removed the Easy to Block Captain interview that he did, you know, or maybe cut that out. Because, you know, you can do that on YouTube, cut it out or remove it. If he didn't, you know what I mean? But if he did, you know what I mean? Maybe he really means it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But shout out to Math HOFFA. He getting the streets lit. You know what I'm saying? But y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. And I know a lot of y'all are mad. Hey, but this is battle rap. This is not like this ain't street rap. You know what I mean? It's street rap, but this is not like, you know, a lot of these people are not like, you know what I mean? Street. I'm not street. I'm just a blogger. I'm one out of many. I'm not a street person. You know, maybe it's some different things I might not be looking at, but from what I'm looking at, what Byron Blake put out, and when I heard him in Wack 100, I don't really think he's wrong for feeling like he's feeling. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, and I seen somebody, you know, a couple other people talking about it, whatever. Nobody's wrong about feel. I think it's good for the conversation to happen so you can get because it was going, believe you me, it was going to come out. You know what I'm saying? But the conversation to be had so you can get people's different perspectives on it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really wrong. You know what I mean? Everybody to how they feel. You know what I mean? But the old rules, you can't do stuff like this. Can't. You know what I mean? So it's a chink in the armor. Did he fully rat? You know what I mean? What he say? Like put people in jail for years? I can't say that. You know what I mean? Did he mouse a little bit? Yes, he did. He did. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of telling, bro. Like he's telling. I can't get with the program. I'm on the phone with I'm on the phone with people behind the scenes. They're like, but this about this, and I'm like, bro, you know, crossing state lines with members and associates. It's kind of, you know what I mean? I know that, but you know, for battle rap. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm trying. But there's other things in the news, you know what I'm saying, for people to pay attention to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Come and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. And, you know, I get it. Ricos can be complicated, convoluted. And I talked to a street person, right? And they said something like, you know, you kind of in a lose-lose when you dealing in that situation. They saying that, you know what I mean? Like, even if, you know what I mean? Like, everything is built up against you, you know? So you got to try to maneuver, you know, against that. But at the end of the day, you just don't say nothing. You stay silent. If they ask you, like, if you conspiring, you say, no, I'm just me being bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You caught me going across state lines. I ain't with nobody else. You know, you don't implicate anybody else to give them any type of overt nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I heard. You know what I mean? But I don't know. You know what I mean? But it depends on what street person you hear from. Some of them are selective. You know what I mean? Some of them are, you know, kind of just, it is what it is. You know, but it's up to y'all and y'all interpretation. Now, can he come back to battle rap? Yes, he surf. You know, but if he comes back, he's got to just talk about it. You know, either in the battle, unless he can control the battle, or, you know, elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Math. Shout out to everybody but I'm out. Come and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. I'm just a blogger. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think in the comments.